Morning students, I am Pankaj Mishra, your physics teacher, here again with a new video on physics class. Students, today we'll be discussing the topics that was left in the second chapter of your physics book, that is work, power, energy. I have uploaded one video. I hope you all have gone through the video. So today we'll be discussing the remaining part that was left in this chapter. In the first video we have discussed about work, its kind, and the special cases that was there in work, that is positive work, negative work and zero work. Today we will be covering this portion, that is work done by force of gravity, that is what will be the effect on the work if an object is thrown vertically upward or it is falling freely under gravity. So we will divide into two cases. Number one is case 1. In this case, what we'll do, we will throw a body from a certain height h and it will fall freely under gravity, that is under gravitational force. Let the object be A and the weight acting on this body is W. This will be equal to mg. This is also a kind of force, and since the object is falling freely under gravity, therefore the value of A will be plus g, since the velocity of this object will continuously increase on reaching this position, that is on the ground position. Now if we will talk about the work done by this object, this will be equal to the force applied on this, that is due to the weight of this object and the displacement that is being done. So WA, that is work done by this object A, will be equal to F into S, that is force into displacement. So in place of this F, we will write M into G, that is this weight of this object, and in place of S we have covered a distance h, that is displacement is h. So this will become mgh, that is equal to potential energy. So work done will be equal to plus mgh. This signifies that in this case work done will be positive, since the force is being applied in the direction of the displacement. So this will be equal to W equal to plus mgh. Now if we will talk about the second case, that is we can take an example of inclined plane, or we can take a ball that we will throw toward the upward side against the gravitational force. So due to the presence of the buoyant force and the frictional force of this air, velocity of this object will continuously decreases, due to which this acceleration due to gravity becomes negative. Or in case of inclined plane, we can understand with the help of this example also. We have to move this object from this position to this top. So in moving from this point to this top, we have to do certain work that will be equal to W equal to F into S. This F will be mg, that is the weight of this object, but it will be negative sign since acceleration due to gravity will be negative. So this will be minus mgh. So these are the two cases that we will study in this chapter, that is work done by the force of gravity. One will be positive and one will be negative. Now we will talk about the unit of work. We have already discussed work done is equal to F into D. So it is equal to Newton into meter, or we can say Newton into meter, or there are certain other unit like joule. If we will talk about the bigger units of work, we can say 1 kilojoule is equal to 10 to the power 3 joule, and 1 megajoule is equal to 10 to the power 6. In case of mega, we will use 10 to the power 6. In case of kilojoule, we can say 10 to the power 3, and in case of gigajoule, we can say 10 to the power 9 joule. Now we have got a relation between joule and erg, very important. This can be asked in your board exam also. As we know, work done is equal to force into displacement. So in place of this force, we can write 1 joule for work, force into displacement, 1 joule for work, 1 Newton for this force, and displacement is 1 meter. So in place of this Newton, we can write 10 to the power 5 dyne, as 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters, so we can write 10 to the power 2 centimeter. Now we will use mathematical formula, that is law of exponent. If the bases are same, then we can add the power. So 10 to the power 5 plus 2 is 7 erg. So 1 joule will be equal to 10 to the power 7 erg. So this was about the relation between joule and erg. Now we will talk about the power. Power is basically defined as rate of doing work. That is, mathematically we can also understand P equal to W by T. That is, P is inversely proportional to time period. If time period increases, power decreases consequently, and it is directly proportional to the work. So from this we can say that as work is a scalar quantity, it is a scalar quantity, so this will be also a scalar quantity. Number 2, we will talk about the unit. Then SI unit of this power is watt. Mathematically we'll say it will see the relation between power, work and time. From this also we can derive one unit, that is power equal to W by T. In place of W we can write joule, and in place of time we can write second. So other unit is joule per second. Now apart from this, we will discuss about the relation between power, force and velocity. Sometimes student, you get stuck with this relation, as if this type of relation is asked in your numerical and you have just studied about power, work and time. So you people just focus on this relation only, but there is one more relation also. If velocity is given and force and power, so you have to learn this derivation also, and we can derive it from the definition of work, that is work equal to force into displacement. But we can write power as work by T. So on dividing the first equation by T, if we'll divide the first equation by T, W by T, and this F plus S by T, so this W by T can be written as P, and this T can be written in the denominator of this S, so it will be S by T, which is equal to V equal to D by T. D is displacement, or it is sometime it is termed as S also, na? So this will be S by T. So in place of this S by T we can write V. So this will be P equal to F into V. So this is the important relation between power, force and velocity. So learn this relation. We have got so much of relation in this chapter, so student, write it 2-3 times so that you can learn it. Now we'll talk about the bigger units of bigger unit of power. 1 kilowatt is equal to 10 to the power 3 watt, 1 megawatt is equal to 10 to the power 6 watt, 1 gigawatt is equal to 10 to the power 9 watt. So in numerical, if it is given in watt and you have to convert it in kilowatt, then what you have to do? You just have to divide it by 10 to the power 3. So learn these relations also. In power, there is one more term given, that is the horsepower, which is basically used for measuring power on large scale. That is, in mechanical engineering we basically use in case of motors also to measure the power of the motor. It is equal to 1, numerically it is equal to 1 HP is 746 watt, or if we want to convert in kilowatt we have to divide it by 1000, so it will be 0.746 watt. Now if we will talk about the difference, because we have studied two topics, one is your work and one is your power. We will talk about the difference between work and power because it can be in your exam. So first will be the definition. Both definitions are different. Work is said to be done if displacement occur in the direction of the applied force, and power is rate of doing work. You can write the numerical expression also, W equal to F into D, power is equal to W by T. So from this relation you can see that there is no dependency of time in case of work. Work is time independent, but if you will see power is work by time, so power is time dependent. So this is the second point. Third point will be the units. SI unit is joule. For work, SI unit is joule, and for power, SI unit is watt. So student, this was all about work and power. One topic is left, that is different forms of energy, conservation of energy, interconversions, the examples. There are some derivations also, theoretical verification of constant for a freely falling object, that we will do in the next video. Students, I have completed 2 topics in this chapter. So today or by tomorrow I'll be uploading the notes of this chapter. So start doing the notes in your fair copy. You can start the numerical portions of this chapter also, that is exercise second day, because I have told you all the formulas and how you have to implement the formulas. Thank you.